you as a consumer think, oh, I'm going to not give my money to Louis Vuitton. I'm going to give it to this quiet luxury because I'm done with logos. At the end, you give it to the same person.
In Europe, the punishment should be a little bit also more serious.
Rich people don't buy luxury items to flex. Rich people use luxury items to open doors.
How much was your biggest transaction?
When crypto was doing well, all the luxury was doing well.
In a way, you buy a fake real product. Yes.
It's a fake real product.
Correct.
Hello everyone on Checked with a very special session where we're going to speak about something that is very, very influential nowadays,
Right.
which is luxury brands and the fashion industry.
Yeah, watches, jewelry.
So we have two special guests. He's directly in the field of fashion as the VIP client advisor for many brands. Yusef, he is a high-end jewelry consultant / specialist. And he had a long experience with Cartier, I believe 10 years.
Around 6 years and a half in Spain and around 3 years in London and now in Dubai since 2020 after COVID. So
Yeah, but in Dubai, but in Dubai you worked with around 3 years with Louis Vuitton, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, that's right.
How we met.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it was an absolutely great experience. Just after COVID, as I mentioned, where the whole luxury world have stopped for a couple of months, so that everyone was thinking that it's not going to come back. And as we all know, it's come back much stronger than before.
And we also have another guest. He's a very calm guy. I met him in JetX. And I was surprised after talking to him. I'm sure you've seen one of his videos. It's called Designer Community. You can see it on the screen. We're gonna add it on the screen. It's for me the #1 Instagram page that give all the actuality about fashion. When I want to know about fashion, I go to Designer Community. I'm sure I'm gonna see something new that all the time surprises me. So we have Mathieu here.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome, Mathieu. So for me, like I want to go directly into questions, and I want to start with Mathieu. Mathieu, are designer items and luxury a good investment?
In general, no. But are there items that are good for buying and selling? Yes. Let's say you take the brand Hermes. You'll be able to make money on the Birkin. But other bags, you will lose money. And who gets to buy that bag? Only the VIP customers.
Right.
So for the majority of people, I wouldn't consider it a good investment. But maybe Yusef has another point of view.
100%. So Yusef, what do you think?
When we say luxury items, that involved watches as well.
Of course. Yeah.
And I think on the last years, a lot of people made a lot of money with watches. I remember friends of mine, even myself, I got some beautiful watches before 2015. At that time, paying 10,000 euro for a Rolex was something crazy. Rolex were giving discount at that time. I used to work in Harrods. You have all the APs on display. You have the Vacheron Constantin. You have even Richard Milles. They were on display sometime. Now those watches are triple the price.
Right.
I don't think it's the same happening with fashion. I think fashion is also connected to the luxury cars, where few of them you enjoy the moment of wearing them or driving them, but few items like Mathieu mentioned about Hermes bags or even some LV items and other brands like from Chanel and other, of course you can make some money.
Okay, so
but in general, I would be very conservative of saying yes or no. It depends on the item. On the item, exactly as you mentioned.
So also another question: how much money should you have to buy a luxury designer item or brand?
You should have at least $100,000 in the bank or $1 million in assets. Why do I say that? It's because you are not impressing anyone richer than you.
Right.
Okay. Only people that have less money. And if you don't have a basis, you don't have passive income, luxury items are not for you. So better to go out, spend $4,000 each month, if you have it, on a loan for a house. Once that's paid off, go out and buy the luxury items. But don't first buy it and then have nothing and just impress the wrong people.
But for example, when we see Yusef told us it's a good investment. Like for example, to buy, for example, a
watch.
$10,000 watch and then resell it triple the price. For example, 30,000. So why not we do that, for example, and do like, for example, a house loan or something.
Good point.
Yeah.
Very good point. So the problem with that is a Rolex nowadays, you don't just get it. You go to the shop, all sold out.
Yeah.
So you have to go on the secondary market. And the prices on the secondary are over retail. Some of the audience might not know that, okay? But a second-hand Rolex sells for more expensive than a new one from the shop.
Yeah, of course.
So here's where you lose money, right? If you get the Rolex at $10,000 and the actual price is $8,000, you're already $2,000 in the minus.
Yeah.
So once you want to sell it, you have to find someone who is willing to pay, let's say, $4,000 extra of it. And that depends. Yeah.
But Mathieu, sorry, go ahead, please. You were one.
No, I wanted to comment on the same topic. Is that after my experience with some clients in the luxury business, I think the people who made more profit, those are the people who are buying things for themselves, then after that things become hard to get or expensive. Because, for example, when you go and you buy something that you like, you don't care later on if you are not going to sell it or to flip it because you are enjoying it. But I have seen lots of cases of people buying iconic bags and they don't like the color, they don't like the size, they don't like even how how this bag is smelling, the leather, and they buy it expecting to sell it after a couple of weeks. So that for me, it's really sad, but it's happening on daily basis.
So we can take it as a job. We can do it as a job. For example, buying bags, for example, and sell it. So
a lot of people are doing that. Yeah.
We can do that.
There is a lot of personal shoppers doing that. This is number one as a job, a lot, and the number is increasing. I think every hour. But something that is, in my opinion, extremely important. How to explain this? I feel the last 5 years, especially after what's happening with the watch business, I was feeling that the clients were enjoying buying things. Now, I have a very good relationship with top VIP clients, and those people, they enjoy selling.
Oh, really?
Which is something unbelievable. Before, the big brands or any luxury environment, they were talking about the buying ceremony. When a client is going to buy something, there is a ceremony. When you go, they give you a coffee. Some brands, they offer you champagne, especially in Europe. You enjoy the moment, so to make it memorable. Now, there is a lot of people, they enjoy the moment of selling. And this started because of the watches business, in my opinion. And I think it's something that we should consider as well, that there is an enjoyment in selling, not only to make profit.
I'm starting to think about it now. It's not that I'm rich yet. But talking about the subject of how to buy luxury or when to buy luxury, I can already see that Mathieu have a T-shirt, a Louis Vuitton T-shirt.
Yes.
So you and I am sure you have a luxury. I don't know about the watch, Yusef, but it looks okay.
Actually, I have a very unique story with this watch. It's a Daytona. It's the previous one without the ceramic bezel. Before buying the watch, I would never consider buying a Rolex. At that time, I was living in Marbella.
All right.
And I was working for Cartier. And for me, Cartier was representing something classy, something elegant, something that like the good people are wearing. Meanwhile, Rolex for me, I'm originally from Morocco. You see that new money people, as we say, are wearing Rolex. So I didn't want to put myself with that kind of people. Then afterwards, a friend of mine, I was in the UK afterwards, then he called me. I got this watch, I remember, in 2016 in the secondary market. He called me, he said, Yusef, by the way, I know that you are there in the UK. Would you check for me? There is a Daytona for sale. Okay, why not? I went there. The guy had two of them. He said, I think even if you don't like it, because for me it was a little bit small, the size. When I wear it, he said, I think you should consider it as an investment. That's why I wanted to go back to the same topic. I remember at that time, I paid approximately £9,000, which was a lot of money for Rolex, for a second-hand Rolex. This watch is from 2008.
Oh.
And at that time, the watch had already 10 years. Or
2015,
8 years.
right?
Yeah. So 16, I think, I bought it, yeah. So then afterwards, they discontinued the Daytona.
So it's a good deal for you.
Yeah, because this one, they created the one with ceramic bezel. So, and you know what is happening in luxury business when an item is going discontinued? The people, they want to
get it.
To get it.
Yeah.
So I thought, I think maybe it's a good time to
get one. What about you?
I was unable to have it.
Yeah. You are planning to sell it?
No.
Okay, I am sure you are planning.
If he was planning like to
I
sell
could have done it
yeah,
before when it was
know.
almost 30K.
What about you, Mathieu? I really want to know about you.
So what you forgot to say is you make money, but you also lost money, right?
Exactly. This is very important because I haven't sold the watch. It means...
Yeah. But sorry, guys, but look, the way I see it, because I'm also a humble client advisor, not like Yusef, but I'm humble.
Come on, Walid.
Yeah.
So look, when let's say you have $30 million in your bank account, all right? And if you are willing to convert a small fraction of that money into a valuable item, I think this is the investment, because you can keep it as a number in your bank account. I don't know if you like cash like me, you can keep it like a stack of money in your, I don't know, like safe.
Yeah.
Or you can convert that into a very valuable watch, which I believe it's better. This is how I see it. So from my perspective, so...
I agree with that, actually, yeah. I think luxury products, like if you know your game, meaning you buy the right Rolex, you don't go for maybe a Hublot, because Hublot no one wants to buy on the secondary. But the Rolex, yes, it's actually good. It's better than cash. So if you have that nice Daytona like him, you walk into a room, people see he has a Daytona, and they think he knows what he's doing. Same for most luxury products. So it's better than you walking into a room with, let's say, a Swatch, dressed all black, all cheap. People are not going to consider you the same than if you have a luxury product.
All right.
So for business, it's good, yeah.
Actually, there is another question I want to ask you, Mathieu, because I know you're an expert in this.
Yeah.
There is a lot of like places, like for example, the outlets, that they offer the same items that you can find in a like legit luxury brand, but you can buy them cheaper on an outlet, especially in Europe. What do you think about this? What's your take on that?
Many people don't know this, but outlets are a scam. Most of the items are made for outlet items. They are not actually the new or old season items. So the quality is less good. For example, for the Gucci bags, you have a G on the bag itself, and it's completely different from the real product. So in a way, you buy a fake real product. Yes.
It's a fake real product.
Correct. I mean, not 100% of the outlet is like that. You might find like 20 to 30% depending on the outlets, which is old season, but the rest is all made for outlet, yes.
Do you have an idea about this, Yusef?
There is a lot of big brands that they as you know, they are in outlet. For example, in London, the famous one is Bester Village. You go there, you have lots of luxury clients that you can't find them in New Bond Street or in Harrods. You can find them in outlets, especially Asian clients.
Yeah. Asians, man.
But to be honest, I think the outlet shopping experience is completely different than the luxury experience, because there is different priorities. If the priority is the money, or to save money, or just to get access to luxury, I think outlet is a great option. This is like, I don't want to say this, but how to say it like in a soft way. It's like talking about Rolex doing two-door. Okay?
Rolex doing what?
Two-door. You know two-door?
To like a home viewing. Like...
No. Two-door is a brand.
Oh, two-door.
Two-door,
yeah, sorry, because sorry, it's the I lost.
Yes, I know.
Like,
okay.
Yeah.
Do you know that two-door belongs to? It's made by Rolex.
No, I didn't know that.
Is
Yes,
that right?
that's correct. Yes.
So two-door is a brand of Rolex. So Rolex, they have every year a certain number of watches they can produce. For example, 1 million, just to drop a number. They cannot do 1,100,000. So, but if they have the capacity to produce much more watches, why not creating a premium brand that is also same quality in kind of or similar quality or made the same way, let's call it this way, with a much more affordable price.
But if if it's affordable, then why a Rolex is more valuable? Because of the experience you're talking. So people are paying for the experience more than the watch itself.
Okay, you want to go now to a Rolex, you have 5,000, 6,000 euros, you want to get the watch. Maybe you won't be able to get any watch, probably. Or maybe you can go to some starting oyster that are not even available.
But if you go to Tudor, you can get it.
Yes.
It with less price.
Yeah, maybe the
But is it the
Tudor price
same?
is for 2,000 euro.
But is it the same caliber of watch? Is a Tudor the same caliber of, in terms of like movement and, you know, technology
let me
behind it?
change this to cars. I think it's much easier to understand even
All
for
right.
the audience. We know that Toyota, probably the most common car here in Dubai,
Yeah.
they also make Lexus.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I got your point.
Nissan is making Infinity. So these are two same know-how or savoir-faire of doing cars, but the ingredient or you know how we are making the car is slightly
from
different.
Rolex, yeah.
So Toyota is starting for maybe 5,000, 6,000, so I don't know how much exactly.
Yeah.
And Infinity and Lexus is much higher price.
Yeah. It's more the luxury side of it.
What I'm saying is that now the big brands, they want to get a bigger number of clients because on the luxury, you can only target a few number of clients. Meanwhile, if you have another brand or create a new brand,
You can open the market for others.
exactly.
Yeah.
For example, let's say you guys work with rich people and everything. So do you think like rich people, they buy these items like for the quality or to flex?
That's a good question. I think Mathieu is the guy to answer this question.
Yeah, let's ask Mathieu first, then we ask Yusef, because Yusef he works with them all of the time. So yeah.
Rich people don't buy luxury items to flex. Rich people use luxury items to open doors. Okay? The quality, I believe, plays a role, but not a major role.
But what do you mean by that? I didn't
It's
get
like
it.
a
You
social
can't.
statement?
No one is gonna pay $10,000 for a watch that is bad quality, like a battery inside, no movement, nothing. So the quality is what the brand uses, but the status is what it uses to sell. So people want to buy into status, and these luxury products give it. Maybe you have a word as well.
What do you think, Yusef?
First of all, you have to define rich people.
Yeah, because
Wealthy.
Wealthy could start for €1 million, could be wealthy.
Yeah, let's
Usually
say
a
1 million.
millionaire
Let's
is someone
stick
who
with
has $1 million.
million.
But you have a billionaire, and they can also consider the rich people.
Yeah.
So there is a big gap.
Let's say, the 1 million people, because there is a lot of them.
Yeah.
The 1 billion, we know they stick with normal pants, normal shirts.
You have brands like Brunello Cucinelli.
Oh,
you have
yeah.
brands as Loro Piana. Now it's become an icon. But 10 years ago, 8 years ago, nobody knew about Loro Piana. They have no logo. They have premium materials. They use the best cashmere and cotton. And the rich people, they wear it. As we know, for example, Mark Zuckerberg is one of the richest men in the world. He's wearing a T-shirt from Brunello Cucinelli. And nobody knows the brand. This T-shirt is between, I don't know, $500, something like that. And it has no logo. So why I'm saying this or giving this example is to show you that there is rich people that they don't care about luxury or showing off. They care about quality for themselves. This is the case. And you see this a lot in Europe, in US, because I would call them, this is old money. Then you have other brands that have both options, but mainly logo things.
Yeah.
You have LV, you have Fendi,
Gucci.
you have Gucci, you have Dior. And you see other rich people, they enjoy that because it gives you a status, and it also gives you power with the community. But in Dubai, it's completely different, for example, than in the UK.
Yeah, I mean, talking about Dubai and the UK, because it just make me think about, because I meet a lot of clients and they tell me, look, there is a blessings here in Dubai. I can wear my 10 luxury watches, all of them at once, and take my Lamborghini and keep it open and nobody will touch me. But in the European countries, like London, for example, big cities, they cannot do this. Like, I mean, what's your take on that? Like, how do you view that? Like, in terms of security, why this is happening, and all what comes with this problem with safety in Europe?
So Europe has a big problem nowadays. It's getting more and more criminal in a way. People getting robbed on the streets. London, every day there's a new person getting robbed for a watch. So you cannot wear luxury products or luxury jewelry in cities like London anymore. Another thing is, I would say maybe a T-shirt you can wear it, but don't wear like a $500,000 watch or something like that, because
Avoid that.
you will risk your life and you risk the item. So imagine buying that watch for the investment, let's say $100,000 watch, $50,000 watch, and then losing it or getting it stolen. Wow, you lose a lot of money.
When you see it, for example, here in Dubai or Saudi Arabia, it's different. Like there is, much safety than Europe, I guess. What do you think, Yusuf, about?
Absolutely. I mean, especially what's happening in Europe recently, as Mathieu was saying, is unfortunately sad. As I shared before, I used to work in Marbella, Porto Banús, and afterwards I went to London. And unfortunately, I think now in terms of criminal rates, robberies, not criminal like aggressively, but robberies, I think these two destinations are one of probably the top 5 of Europe, because there is a lot of high net worth. And also there is a lot of luxury brands.
Yeah.
It means easy money for a lot of people. I think it's a blessing to be here in Dubai. These times it's
Super safe.
you can wear 5 watches, as you said, at once. Nobody will care. You can drive any car. Nobody will. You can even keep the windows open and nobody will target you. But I think also there is many reasons for this safety. I think also in Europe that the punishment should be a little bit also more serious, because when these people.
So this is the reason why you think
One
the
of the
punishment.
reasons, there is a lot. I don't like, to be honest, to talk about politic things because this is not in our, in our hand to change it. But one of the main reasons is like when someone is stealing something and they catch him or catch her, you see them on the street afterwards. After the 5 hours, they can do the same thing.
Yeah,
so this is what I'm talking about, punishment. Meanwhile here, if you make it and they catch you,
Goodbye.
trust me, you will be in big trouble.
Here, the juridic system is very serious. I mean, they respect the law that they put, and I think this one. But is there other reasons you think, guys? Is there other, accept the juridic system, accept the punishment? Is there other reasons why we see criminality in Europe more than, for let's say, in GCC countries?
People might say yes, it's immigrants in Europe that do this. But did you know that Dubai has over 80% immigrants?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not the immigrants.
It's the law, I guess.
The law, and it's the fact that if you do something here, you are out. You go back to your home country, or you go to jail for a long time.
Yeah.
In Europe, if you do something there, you'll just stay there, which then attracts the wrong people. So Dubai just gets always like people that are not stealing, good people.
Like Yusuf said, let's stay out of politics.
Exactly.
We are safe in Dubai, alhamdulillah. I want to be safe, come to Dubai. So Yusuf, I want to ask you also about, the business of, jewelry, watches, especially watches. How is it going right now in 2024?
I think the watch business the last years, it was doing very well. But when we saw a drop happening in cryptocurrency, the watches business, I believe, it got affected.
So cryptocurrency affects like the
It's a feeling. I cannot share data or report on this, but it's a feeling. You can feel that from the people who are selling watches in the region, lots of dealers, and of course it's affecting. But overall, I think it's there is in a moment. This is like a calm moment. Everyone is like doubtful a little bit if to go or to step back, and this part of the business.
But is the correlation proportional? Like if the crypto goes up, the watches industry goes up, and vice versa. Like if the crypto goes down, the watches market goes down. Is proportional or disproportional?
I think yes. When crypto was doing well, all the luxury was doing well.
Right.
Okay, we're not talking about big brands because they might be affected, but not as seriously as aftermarket. Also, real estate. If you check I have lots of friends who are in real estate, especially with the boom that's happening now in Dubai. You see that it was affected. For example, talking about African clients. In Africa, even if you have the money, it's not easy to take out the money.
Right.
Okay, so crypto was
a way
to
exactly to making the thing smoother and to help to increase the investment.
Right.
I'm not an expert in crypto. I'm not a big fan. I know a little bit about it, but I'm telling you, it was a little bit connected to.
But I mean, I just want to talk about your career a little bit. We met in Louis Vuitton, and you were occupying a position that I believe there was only 2 people occupying that position. It's like a VIC client advisor of a sort, which is a very glamorous position, right? But I know that you now are doing your things alone, and you're out of a corporate. So why did you take that decision, knowing that, I mean, your position was very good? And how is it going with the new experience? Like, how is it going with you now doing that?
So far, so good. I think it's one of the best decisions that I ever made. Very tough, especially when you are part of such a big entity, because it's LVMH, it's not only Louis Vuitton.
And before that, Cartier as well.
Yes, it's Richemont Group. Yeah. So you have kind of flexibility in many places, even in hotels. You travel a lot, you meet the best people, your life is much easier. But when you have this entrepreneurial instinct, is like a little voice inside you, and this little voice the volume is getting higher and higher and higher. So then afterwards, the money becomes secondary. You are not enjoying that daily basis because you think that you can make it yourself. And to be honest, I'm happy and I'm blessed to make it. As you know, I created my own brand, and we're happy now.
WeCord, if you don't know, we're gonna talk about it later in detail.
And it's a good advice too, by the way.
To be honest, it's a risk that had to be taken, because if you don't try,
you'll never know.
I had a very big meeting with my wife, because it's a big responsibility, especially in Dubai. It's an expensive city. It's not like if you do it in Morocco, maybe it's easier. You have the family, you have something that you can. Now it's getting expensive everywhere.
Yeah.
But we said I prefer. Regret making it than regretting not making it.
Yeah, that's a very important thing. Like, better ask forgiveness than permission. I don't know if you know this. But actually, just to also, because we're talking about career, and I just realized that I don't know nothing about Mathieu's career. Like, I just know his.
So you didn't ask him, man.
No, but I met him before. You start directly. You graduate. I will open Instagram. How is your career, bro? Like,
yeah, so I started with Instagram in 2013, and it took me many years of trying to make videos that people enjoy, and just finally 2 years ago it really started to pick off, and we
2 years ago started to pick up.
We reached half a million followers in less than a year, and the rest
Which
now,
year?
Starting 2019 I started to.
Yeah, 2019 you have half a million.
No, not yet.
Okay, yeah.
So 2019 I started, new format, which is the short format.
Okay.
And then 2021 we reached 500,000, and now we are at almost 700,000. So inshallah, soon 1 million.
Why did you choose this field? For example, designers.
It's a
brands?
passion for me.
It's a passion.
I could ask him the same. Why did you choose the WeCode, which is also jewelry brand? It's a passion, probably, no?
Definitely. It's. I can share later the story if you want about.
Of course.
I don't know how much time we still have, but
let's talk about WeCode.
We have
time.
Actually, it's that. The brand is called WeCord. It means we and cord. It's a cord because we started doing cord bracelet.
Yeah, it's a WeCord guy. That's a WeCord.
So actually, the one you're wearing, the piece on the middle, it's a gemstone called onyx.
Yeah.
So I bought those gemstones, maybe 10 of them at the very beginning when I was in the UK. and they gave them as a gift to friends of mine, just the gemstone. At that time, I was working at Cartier.
Yeah.
Okay. So the idea that I had is I wanted to do a charity thing that can help Morocco, because there is a lot of association in Morocco. They're doing very well and they need help and to be showcased. I discussed at that time with my manager. I said, what do you think if we do something? Because when I gave them to my friends, I give them just the gemstones. So they can wear it on a necklace. They can put it in a cord. They can, it's just a little dots or donuts, let's call it.
Yeah, well, it's like a circle.
Yeah, it represents a lot of things. It represents the infinity. It represents the infinite energy, as we say, because gemstone is always connected to energy. Many friends decided to put them on a cord. Then they come back to me saying, from where you got this? Can we get more? And this is how it started. Then I was working there at Cartier. The people thought it was a Cartier bracelet at the beginning. But why I was wearing it? Because the Cartier one they're making is in gold. And because of my faith, I'm Muslim, I do not wear gold.
As a male, yeah.
Exactly. I have a lot of people coming from Saudi Arabia, from Qatar.
So you choose the Ahjar al-Karima.
Exactly.
Right.
So, no, it was actually a coincidence. When I was wearing it, the people start asking me, what is this? Is this Cartier? This is a new bracelet. No, it's not Cartier. This is just a gift. I was saying, this is just a gift. Then we started developing. I would say, this is a gemstone. Then the people were asking me. Then we made it as, started talking about it. I can be talking about this for like 5 hours.
Yeah, congratulations.
But it started as a passion for gemstones. This is number one.
So you like gemstones?
Definitely. When I was in Cartier, I was high jewelry specialist at that time. High jewelry is 90% about gemstones.
Yeah.
You have rubies that cost €1 million per carat.
Wow.
You have sapphires from Kashmir that some of them are priceless. Depends on the intensity of the blue color. So I was really, really a big passionate of gemstones. I had the chance to give a gemstone, which is a gift of nature, to give it to some friends, so to keep it as a friendship thing.
Yeah.
And today we have a store in Dubai Mall. So
you have a store now in Dubai Mall?
yes, we
Congratulations,
opened. Thank
man.
you so much.
Let's go. This is the business.
We opened in September. Now we have much more other categories like watches, perfumes, and always the same, with the same slogan, which is the best quality with the best prices that we can afford, that the people can afford and enjoy quality.
So how much is this one approximately?
In AED, it's around 300 dirhams.
300 dirhams with the onyx.
Onyx, yeah, it comes in around 7 gemstones.
I think the added value that you're giving, you already spoke about it, is because, just to come back to the Islamic statement you gave. So as Muslims, male Muslims, we're not allowed to wear gold and silk. Males. Women, they can. All right. So I think what you're fixing, especially in this region, that you're creating jewelry for men. Do you have a women's section as well, or is this a unisex thing?
The bracelets are unisex,
Unisex,
100%.
yeah.
But we do have for ladies as well. I would say it's 50-50 so far. We started also with rings, also with gemstones. The one I'm wearing, for example, is timeless design. Something that you can carry for many years.
Yeah.
We don't want to have this kind of quick collections that are selling and afterwards,
But it's very interesting because, I mean, you worked in luxury brands and now you're doing something semi-luxury, I would say, or luxury.
It is luxury accessories.
Luxury.
100%, yeah.
And it reminded me of the story of, for example, Bernard Arnault. I don't know if you know this story, but Bernard Arnault, he was in a taxi in New York and he said he's from France and he was shocked that the taxi, he knew Dior. And he was like, okay, there is where the money. He didn't have exactly your start.
I wish I have the same story.
He was not working in luxury, but he was like, he's a French guy. Like he's passionate about it somehow. So, I mean, and he become one of the biggest names in luxury. And there is the guy from, what's the name of the second person from?
François Pinault.
Yeah, so basically we have two people, Bernard Arnault and François Pinault, who are somehow governing the luxury or designer brand world. So what do you think? What's your take on that?
I wanted actually to add another name that he's very strong in fashion. He's not luxury, but he's very, very strong. He's Amancio Ortega.
Oh,
He is the founder of Inditex Group, which is Zara
which
Group
is
and
Zara,
Massimo
Massimo
Dutti.
Dutti,
And
all
trust
that.
me, these people, they make more money than luxury brands with fashion, purely fashion. And also, I think it's a key player in fashion. And also, his story should be considered. I started literally from the very beginning. I lived in Spain for over 10 years. So in Spain, Amancio Ortega is literally an eminence. Same as Bernard Arnault in France. In terms of, I think he's probably in the top 10 of richest people in the world. He was always in the top 5. But yeah, let's go back to Mr. Arnault.
Yeah, because we were emphasizing about luxury brands. I mean, in fashion, I know there's other names even. But like, what's your take on two people like ruling the world of luxury brands? Like, what do you think about that?
They control everything, right? Many times people in my audience, they will say, oh, now Fendi is finished, or Louis Vuitton this year is not going to win because quiet luxury is here. But do you know who controls quiet luxury? Arnaud Bernard with L'Europeana. So you have L'Europeana owned by the same person than Louis Vuitton. So actually you as a consumer think, this year I'm going to not give my money to Louis Vuitton. I'm going to give it to this quiet luxury because I'm done with logos.
Yeah.
At the end, you give it to the same person.
Well,
speaking of brands, I wanted to ask you, Mathieu.
Yeah.
For example, someone who wanted like to start a new brand, how do they start?
I would say nowadays, if you don't have any capital, you really, like yourself, you're not a rich person or you have a lot of investment, you have to start with social media. If you can find a way to go viral on social media and promote your brand through that, you'll be successful. Content nowadays is the most important thing because once you have the orders coming in, the rest is done. Most people, they're like starting like this. I have to first make a good product, a great website, but no one is coming to the website because no one knows about your brand. The genius way to start, put any website, make content, sell products, and sometimes you don't even have to have the products in stock. Once they are sold, once you have the money, you go make them. That's how it works.
So the key is marketing.
Yes.
For example, when you see, let's say, for example, Kanye West or Travis Scott, or these famous people who have their own, shoes or items, they are going viral. And they are one of the biggest brands right now.
Yeah.
I mean, the past 5 years or decade, let's say. Is it marketing or is it the shoe? Is it well designed or is it marketing?
You talking about Yeezy?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean Yeezy or the Travis Scott shoe or any shoe.
I don't want to say anything bad about Kanye West because Kanye West actually is one of the greatest designers we have nowadays. But when it comes to the rest of celebrities, no idea. For example, Lady Gaga doesn't know anything about Polaroid, still she promotes a camera, And the same with many stars. I don't know if Travis Scott knows a lot about shoes, but he's like number
Pharrell
one
Williams
selling.
with Louis Vuitton, for example.
Okay, that's again is an idol because he's also he knows some stuff about designing, and Yusef probably knows that as well with his background. But Pharrell Williams used to make the Louis Vuitton Evidence collection for the sunglasses.
The sunglasses, yeah.
So I think if he's at Louis Vuitton at the moment, there's a reason for that because Louis Vuitton, they know what they are doing. Another thing here, okay? At the beginning, no one liked Virgil Abloh. It's now that everyone liked him, but it's Louis Vuitton who makes the people shine after some time. Yeah.
So it's not the artist or it's the brand.
It's like both two in one because like sorry I interrupted
correct.
because I have some and me and Yusuf we can give you good insights about it. So Louis Vuitton in so many cases works like a scout. So they can know that the talent is there. And because they're known, if they shine the light of a good artist, the collaboration will be a boom. So this is what they did but I think Virgil Abloh, he was big with Off-White.
Yeah.
Even Pharrell Williams, I know people know him in music, but he's also quite known in fashion as well. So they know with who they collaborate, but it's not the brand or the artist, it's both of them creating a project together. That's what I think Louis Vuitton, this is their strategy, and I don't know what you think about it, Yusuf.
I totally agree. I mean, everything that Louis Vuitton touches, it's highlighted and it's multiplied by 100. This is not something easy to achieve. You need to work hundreds of years to be able to do this kind of moves. And every year being there doing those moves. It's like, I will switch a little bit, but let's talk, for example, about football. When you see teams like Real Madrid, or Barcelona, they brought a guy called Vinicius Junior from Brazil. That, yeah, he was talented, he was okay. They paid 70 million for him. They brought him now, he worth 150 million because the talent is there. But you need also the training team. You need also to have, in going back again to fashion, you need to have the right studio.
Right.
Because Virgil Abloh, rest in peace, he's not an octopus. He has two hands, as all of us. So you need to have a strong team with you. And LV, they are expert in making the teams work well together. When I used to be part of the LV team, I was always saying this to my clients. They were talking, Yusef, how come you moved from Cartier to Louis Vuitton? Your passion is watches and jewelry. How come you moved to LV? They're selling bags and shoes and belts. So yeah, this is what do you think? But now LV will become a big player in high jewelry and watches. And that's what happened. The new collection of high jewelry got sold out before even coming to the store.
Right.
How are you achieving these kind of things? First of all, you need to have the right team. Number two, the right budget and the right marketing tools. And you don't see high jewelry and watches in the LV Instagram. Go and check. You won't see it as much as bags.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the targeted audience is completely different than
So it's
fashion.
the team, yeah.
Absolutely. So I wanted to highlight that. The team, it's very important.
I want to ask you something. It's a little bit private.
It's a spicy one.
It's a private one. Oh, how much was your biggest? Because I used to work in the big store and I see sometimes Yusef like 1 million. But how much? It's 1 million is not the biggest, huh? Just for you to know, guys. How much was your biggest transaction? The biggest one.
I think it's quite private. I would just give a gap or like a number. It was over 3 million euro.
I was talking 1 million dirhams.
Wow.
Yeah. I cannot give more details, but yes, and this kind of transaction, trust me, I have some white hair now. I used to have 2 before coming, now I have maybe 20.
Yeah.
It really gives you a lot of them. And the adrenaline, to be honest, is like being in a roller coaster. Because one of the most important things of my job when I was dealing with ultra VIP clients is that you cannot show your feelings. Because imagine you have a 3 million transaction on the table.
I cannot not show my feelings.
Exactly.
I will start sweating. I'll take off the jacket.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
And not only that.
And you can contain yourself. You can like manage your feelings when let's say he will say yes, okay, I'll take it, and you calculate and you see that it's like 3 million euros. Like in that instant, how come you cannot react? For me, I'll laugh. I can tell the client, you made me happy or something.
There is client that you can definitely laugh and have them like, as we say, as buddies. But at the end, I think it's something that you learn. Because on my character, I'm someone very active. I'm someone that I show my feelings. I'm not an introvert. So for me, it's very hard to keep my feelings, good and bad. Not only the good ones or excitement. But I remember when I was with Cartier, I was lucky to be part of a high jewelry community, which was like around 30 or 40 people worldwide. They were giving us some trainings that keeps with you the rest of your life. Just to give you an example, the coach of Rafa Nadal was giving us coaching, not the coach of tennis, the coach of psychology.
Like life coach.
Yes.
Yeah, the life coach.
So how to deal with the clients, how to deal with the transactions, how to keep the emotions. Because when you are playing a tennis match, it's exactly the same thing. If you got overexcited, you lose.
In tennis?
Yes, of course, because it's moment. That's why when you see after a break and before a break, you see 2 different players and he's the same. Yeah. Just the mindset is completely different.
Yeah.
So same with football. And this is something that you learn. And as I told you, it was a blessing for me to be part of...
There's another question. I'm sorry, like we're gonna bombard Yusef with some question. I know that you witness or you're invited to the biggest events. I mean, whether it's from Louis Vuitton or other brands. Your experience and the caliber or the type of people you meet in these events, let's say of the fashion shows, for example. I mean, when was the last fashion show you've been invited in?
Last year.
Last year. Was it?
I stopped with LV, as you know, a while ago, but last year I was still with LV.
So when you are in those events, how's the feeling? I really wanted, but unfortunately, I never been. But how's the vibe there, like in those type of events? Like, how is it?
To be honest with you, the fashion events are fun, 100% fun.
Yeah.
I would tell you that the feelings and you feel that is something important is when you go to high jewelry events or high watchmaking events, you feel there is a pressure.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in fashion shows, there is no transaction happening. Everyone is going to enjoy the show.
Which is fun, yeah.
You cannot buy, you cannot sell, you just go there, you have fun, you have drinks, you meet people, your seat is already there, you see your number on the seat,
Yeah.
your name, people are waiting for you, you enter to the show like a rock star,
Yeah.
lines of people clapping.
I'm sure that Mathieu watched it. Like you will not miss this.
I
You will
make
not
it.
miss these big events. But what's your thought on it? Like the Virgil, Abloh, especially the last one.
Pharrell,
Especially
you
the
mean?
last. Sorry, Pharrell Williams. I always confuse.
Yeah.
Pharrell Williams' last fashion show.
Yeah, so I made a video actually in collaboration with the Luxury Closet. So we made a video about the show. And surprisingly, the comments were quite bad. Like most of the audience, and you can even go up and check the Instagram, my Instagram, and you will find the video. And the comments were negative. Me personally, I'm more of, I want to give him a chance. It's his first show. So let's see where it's going. I believe, as I said previously, Louis Vuitton is going to make him a star, and it's just a process now. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even as you said with the Virgil, it was the
Yeah.
same experience.
In the beginning,
You know,
Yeah.
because they are very extreme, not extreme, but they are very
shocking.
or urban.
Yeah.
They're urban and in two different styles. So of course, people they will always go against something new.
I feel
In
like
the beginning, they're like, "Oh, what's this? It's new. I
Yeah.
don't like it." And then with time, you find them like they will lean into it.
The change is always difficult because now Pharrell is trying to change the style because we all know that Virgil was probably the most successful men's designer in the last years.
Yeah.
Even there was a massive increase on ladies buying men clothes in Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, especially
And
Louis Vuitton. Yeah,
and you know that a lot of
noticed
ladies
that.
are wearing Virgil designs.
Especially the shoes.
Yeah, also the hoodies,
Yeah.
the many things. Even the bags, you see that women are wearing men's bags,
Yeah.
so the crossbodies and this kind of. But I think coming after Virgil, it's a massive pressure.
It's a massive pressure. It's like the shadow.
And whatever
Yeah.
you do, you
Yeah.
would be compared to a legend. And especially the way he left it as well. It's a very
It's a
unique
very
way,
sad way,
unfortunately,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
sad way. So it's he started as a good designer and he finished as a legend.
Yeah.
So now you are coming on the place of a legend. It's very hard.
It's a lot of
But
pressure.
I think with the LV support and the strong team he has, I think it's question of time. Talking about new things, when Cartier created the love bracelet in 1969, the people were laughing how I'm going to wear something with a screwdriver.
And look at it now.
It was a guy called Aldo Cipulo, an Italian designer, who
Yeah.
made it. It was in New York. Guess how much the price of the love bracelet at that time?
How much is it?
$500.
wow.
500, yeah.
And it had over 20 grams of gold.
1962, right?
It was
69.
69.
1969. It was $500.
Yeah.
Which is still expensive.
I know at that time,
I mean,
$500
comparing to now, yeah.
is a lot of money.
It's a
of
lot of
course.
money, Yeah.
I remember my father-in-law was telling me that Mercedes in Morocco cost $2,000.
Yeah.
And look at it now. Now it's like
Imagine, and Morocco is much more expensive than here.
Yeah.
Because of taxes and everything.
So I think majority they will say Virgil, but I think like if I say Pharrell versus Virgil, which one you think he will have like the boom?
Virgil Abloh. Because,
Virgil, you don't think
yeah, but
Pharrell
also
will...
because, you know, it's just been such a big loss for fashion. So I can't now say Pharrell Williams, and we all miss him so much. His style, his clothes.
What about you, Yusef? Like, what do you think? Do you think, like, I know that we still didn't experience Pharrell fully, but Virgil Abloh or Pharrell Williams, which one you think it would be?
I think
according to you or you personally.
I think it's not fair to ask this question now for Pharrell.
For Pharrell,
it's
yeah.
too early. But I think nobody can, at the moment, be at the same level as Virgil at the moment. Because
I would interrupt you, Kanye West.
I mean, for Louis Vuitton, of course, we're talking
Yeah,
as
we're talking
LV.
LV,
We're not talking about.
No, but did you know that Kanye West was
He's
supposed to be?
yes.
Exactly.
What happened with that?
I heard a lot of rumors, and
Yeah.
but you know, the LVMH group and Louis Vuitton particularly is very, very careful with the image of the brand. So you see, for example, what happened with Adidas. I love Kanye West. I think he's amazing. He's a brilliant designer. But what happened with Adidas, it wasn't something out of the guidelines. So it did not end up well, even if nobody knows the true story. But LV would never allow something like that.
Yeah, I mean, Louis Vuitton, it's a brand that they highly focus on their image.
The story goes like this. So actually, Bernard Arnault already shook the hands with Kanye West, saying you will become the director.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and after that, the shareholders said we cannot take this guy on, and then they took the next best thing at the time, which was Virgil Abloh. But Virgil.
Oh, do you mean before Virgil?
Yeah, to fill the position of creative director, they were. Bernard Arnault already agreed, at least to Kanye West. He's saying that, okay?
So you, but before, but because I'm talking. Yeah. So you're talking before Virgil Abloh, right?
Yeah.
No, we're talking because after when Virgil Abloh died, we all heard the rumor that Chris Brown. Okay. Kanye West will come to be the new.
No, he cannot come. There's no way. But he when his image was still good, he was supposed to be the creative director, and Virgil Abloh was working for Kanye West. Yeah. And many people might not know that, but they said, okay, we take the next best thing. And that turned out to be a fantastic decision because of who Virgil became. And they took Virgil in LVMH, and wow.
You know why I asked you this, Virgil versus Pharrell? Because I think Pharrell will do bigger things than Virgil.
Yes.
I don't think, sorry, I might be overconfident about what I'm going to say, but I'm sure that Pharrell will do much more better in terms of numbers, because in the end of the day, you will measure it with numbers.
Yeah.
I go back again to football. Just to give you an idea, Maradona and Zidane, when they left football,
they were like,
everyone was saying nobody can come and sit on the table with these two people. We talk about legends. Then after Maradona, we had Messi. And after Zidane in Real Madrid, we had Cristiano Ronaldo, who was 20 times bigger than Zidane in terms of numbers, in terms of performance, in terms of feeling the stadium. Right. You never know, to be honest.
But nobody will come after Messi and Cristiano. Nobody can say Messi and Cristiano.
This is the feeling what we have that we have now with Pharrell, because it's still too early. Messi is still there, Cristiano is still there. It's very hard to have but someone to replace them.
Messi and Cristiano is a different subject, man. I don't think, like, if someone have to beat Messi and Cristiano, he have to be working in professional league at age 15 or 16 to have a chance.
You know why I continue switching to football? It's actually my biggest passion, more than luxury, more than watches.
What?
I'm a football coach. I've studied football professionally. I have a UEFA A license. Actually, before I started in the luxury business. It was a pure coincidence. I was studying football.
Man, it makes sense. A Moroccan guy living in Spain. This is where you go.
It was an easy one, but so that's why now football is still there. But the daily basis is watches and luxury.
So you came to Dubai, I think, when we met in the boutique in Emirates Mall. It was 2019.
I came to Dubai on November 2020. So you were there before me, probably.
That's
why. November
2020.
And they stayed with them until end of last year.
So you came because of Louis Vuitton. It was like a recruitment, like directly. You were recruited from Louis Vuitton when you were in Spain.
Yes, from the UK, from London.
They scouted you. They're good in scouting.
One of the things that a lot of people doesn't know is in luxury business as well. There is a lot of, when we say about, you were talking about scout. A lot of people from the executive management or even the vice president or even CEOs, they move from a company to another.
Yeah.
Especially between Richemont, LVMH, Kering Group, you see a lot of people are moving. These people, they have their own team in other brands. If they have the chance to bring the team
They will do it.
they give you a call. So this is what happened. Lots of people moved from Cartier to LV. A lot of people, especially in the jewelry business. As you know, LV is doing a proper jewelry department. And few of us, we received some calls saying, why don't you join us?
All right, that's a good story. And also regarding Mathieu, I mean, you're from Luxembourg.
Correct, yes.
Luxembourg. So you're from
Half of the people
Luxembourg.
don't know what it is,
You
but-
came to Dubai. What's the story like how it happened and when it happened?
Yeah, so it happened in 2018. So I've been here for 6 years now.
6
Oh,
years.
almost 7.
Wow.
Wow.
And yes, it's I came here because of the business environment. So Luxembourg is a very small country. We are considered to be one of the richest countries in the world, but for young people, there's not a lot of business. It's mostly between older people and
All right.
experienced. We have mostly banking, right? So for me, it was like, let me try out something new. I came to Dubai. I met so many people in the first week. And I was like deciding I'm going to stay up, going to stay here, open my company here. And since then, I've been here. Yeah.
And by saying open my company,
Yeah.
you're talking about designer community.
Yes, correct. So I used to also buy and sell luxury goods. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So secondhand. I had a secondhand marketplace with over 70,000 users, mobile app. I was planning to push that even more here in the UAE. But eventually I stopped that app and I focused on content only because that's what drove the most revenue for me.
All right.
Yeah.
And but why you stopped the? Why you stopped it? Like, what was the reasons you stopped the platform?
So to be honest, it started to become a headache dealing with all the scams, with all the people trying to sell fakes. And then the brands, actually luxury brands, they are not really in favor of the secondary, at least at that time. And I would like get Instagram shut down, problems like that, because brands, they consider almost everything fake as long as it's not sold by them or it has a receipt or anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was challenging and it was ultimately just the wrong direction. So I changed the direction and focused on what I'm really good at, and that's content.
That's great.
Correct.
But
And,
what's the plan now? Like, how you?
Yeah.
Where are you gonna take it?
So at the moment, I have a media company that powers all the production on my side and for my clients. So last week I had a collaboration with Bulgari, you know, the famous brand.
Yeah, I
for
saw the
jewelry.
video, by the
You know
way.
them? Yes. And we just keep working with these big clients and the media production powers it. But at the same time, I'm thinking if there's something coming my way, a product or something that really makes sense, I'm going to push it as well. And then I have the audience to buy it for me.
And for you, Yusuf, your plan with WeCord is like you started it here, you already opened the store here, and what's the future saying? I mean, are you gonna stay? Are you gonna focus only on this?
We started WeCord in 2018 in London.
right.
Yeah, it was. We were doing. It was actually my wife who was in charge of the operations, and I was helping with the strategy as well. But WeCord started in 2018. Our first order was in 2018. It was actually from Germany.
right.
Then afterwards, we started working on marketing on the GCC area, and it's mostly here. Then afterwards, when I moved, it's easier to control the business from here. A lot of big companies moved to Dubai, but we do have both entities between here and Harrow.
And your clients mostly are from Europe or here?
At the moment, here. Yeah.
At the moment, here. Oh, really? So
Yeah,
you okay?
because at the
That's
end,
good.
it's as Mathieu was talking, is about marketing. It's also about where are you putting your focus. If you focus on Middle East, you get more clients in Middle East. If you focus on Europe, you get more clients in Europe. You need to have the content for it. You need to have the product for it. You need to have the after sale for it. It's shops, physical shops as well.
I mean, in all domains. I mean, even Raouf, he can tell you this. Raouf, he's one of the biggest filmmakers in Algeria, I believe.
Thank you.
And he came here, and in Algeria, of course, he had some clients, but the transition here was worth it. I think he can also talk about
Of course,
it.
yeah. I mean, like, it's different. You know, North Africa. You know how it is. The market there, it's tough. You know, it's easy to film and everything, but it's tough to get, you know, the clients. You know how you imagine it, and the big budget clients. But here in Dubai, it's different. Like, for example, here in Dubai, everyone needs marketing. any brand, any artist, anything needs marketing, and that leads them to us, you know, media and marketing team. So yeah.
I think in North Africa it's extremely hard to sell non-physical items, which is services.
Yeah, because
But it's
which
moving
is
now.
content, which is
Yeah, it is.
they don't touch it. If you go, for example, I had a very nice conversation with one of my friends. You see, for example, in Africa, especially North Africa, even in some parts of the GCC, the people, they don't pay for services. They pay for goods. Like you go to business class, you have rich people. They don't go business. They don't go first class because it's a service. They prefer to go economy, but they go and buy jewelry. Because
I mean,
it's physical.
it's a culture.
Right,
I mean, I can
It's a
tell you
culture.
about us. I mean, us, me and Raouf, we can, because I was brought up, we were both brought up in Algeria. For me, it was weird to do a delivery. I downloaded Kareem app last year. I used literally go by foot and buy. For me, it was weird. Like, and it will come home. Like for us, it's a cultural thing. Like if someone wanna open a business in North African region about delivery, for example, he will not receive any clientele for the first. He have to install the culture first.
Correct.
And then he can get some clients. I mean, that's what we're struggling in. That's why I prefer to do something here, because the culture is already laid out for you to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I believe. Even for you to come here and find clients more than Europe, I was expecting that you will have clients more in Europe than here. It shocked me.
When we started, yes, as I told you, the first order was coming from Germany.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, we were 100% online at that time, and in Europe, the online business, especially e-commerce, it's doing very well and it's well accepted. So the people, they don't mind to go and order things they have never seen from brands they have never heard about.
Yeah.
Here is a different story. You need to put yourself on the map, make sure some known people are wearing your items. Then after, you have the people coming and investing in your brand or buying your designs. But to be honest, once here, it's everything very smooth. Create a business, create an entity, delivering things, hiring staff, visas, immigration, everything is
easy.
unbelievably smooth. Now you go to Europe, it's not, that's why 20% of Europeans, like especially entrepreneurs, are coming here.
Yeah, I mean, taxes is another reason, but we
keep it as last.
Yeah.
But even in terms of smoothness of the creating the business in North Africa, to create a company, you may need 45 days.
Yeah.
Here you make it maybe in half a day.
Yeah, right.
So,
True.
And this is very important, because sometimes when you have a very good idea and you want to execute, that time to execute, if you don't do it on the right time, you know, as we say, the momentum
it will drop.
It
will
drops.
drop. Yeah.
So here, no, you have the idea, you execute.
Right.
That's why the businesses are. You see much more businesses, even if they fail afterwards, but they have done it.
Yeah.
And they failed. Not just an idea that is in your mind or in your desk. It's a different.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
You want to say something?
Also, something I want to say. Most people say your first businesses or startups fail, but founders almost never fail.
It's so true.
True. Yeah. The founders they fail today, but they will succeed tomorrow.
I wanted to add
That's
something.
a very good,
amazing. In the same
added.
topic, they always say you have to bet on the jockey and not on the horse.
You bet on what?
On the jockey,
the one who's riding the horse.
Okay.
Okay, and not on the horse, because the same jockey can ride 5 different horses and maybe with a different way, but the horse, it's in this
You
case the
always ride
company
the same.
or the idea or the business,
Yeah.
and the founder is the jockey. So at the end, you are. That's why when you go to this kind of business, like what is called this Shark Tank? What's it called?
Shark Tank.
Shark Tank. Most of the time, they bet on the founder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the time,
Not
it's
on
a
the
feeling.
idea.
They know she can make it or he can make it, and afterwards they help them to grow the business. And some ideas fails, but as he said, you keep it for yourself, and your next business you won't fail, or you will learn at least.
So yeah, I mean, and I think it's you rarely meet someone from his first take, he got it. Like always, they have 2-3 failures, then you can make it. So any last words? So I think it's time to wrap it up.
I mean, yeah.
mean, it's,
What's your last words?
good
Let's
luck,
let's
yeah.
start with Mathieu.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for having me.
Thank you.
And you actually came up with the idea to have a podcast. It's one of my first podcasts.
Oh, thank you.
And thank you. Yeah, have a
And
wonderful evening.
let's hope we see you again. Like
Yeah.
we want you to come back.
That
again.
depends how much the audience likes it.
Okay.
No, you for sure. I mean, like we talked about Virgil or Pharrell
Yep.
Williams, they were all maybe in the beginning, they were skeptical about it, but would you make them like you, and I'm sure they will
Right.
like it, and for sure there will be a reoccurring guests, Yusef or you, Mathieu.
Thank you.
Mathieu, sorry.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure for me to be here, guys. Honestly, it's as I told you, I've met Mathieu before. It was just over the phone. Now it's in person, which is great. I think what I haven't met someone in my field that is not following him, to be honest. And this is not. I'm not throwing flowers.
That's what I noticed.
He's doing a massive job. To be
Yeah.
honest, it's amazing. So it's a pleasure. I honestly congratulate you both guys for
Thank you so
this
much,
idea
yeah.
to again
Thank you.
making it happen. Honestly, it's as I told you, it's my first podcast, and a lot of people from my audience have never heard my voice or even see me talking or even heard my English accent.
Yeah.
So there is always a first time. I'm happy to be here, guys.
And you did a
thank
very good session. I believe
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
You have be your salesperson.
Yeah, you should be a podcaster too. I guess.
Yeah, we will for sure invite you again.
Maybe in
I mean,
Arabic.
yeah. In Arabic as well, yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, usually we have majority of our guests are people from the social media industry. Like for example, Mathieu, we brought comedians and content creators. We bring rappers. We're gonna bring businessmen. I mean, I put you in that section of the businessmen people. I put Mathieu Mathieu, sorry. You know, I'm mixing because of my Polish friend. His name is Mathieu.
You know what is the funniest thing?
Yeah.
My real name is Mathieu.
Mathieu.
But when I came to Dubai, I gave it up because
Mathieu. So Mathieu, I put you as a content creator in
Yeah.
fashion. I see you as a businessman. So usually the plethora of people we bring is around these things: art, social media, and business.
Wishing you the best of luck, guys.
Thank you so
I think
much.
you will do great. And
too, guys.
excited to see this on YouTube or
Soon,
via
soon,
social
soon.
media as well.
So yeah, don't forget to subscribe, like.
Yeah, Mathieu. Designer community checked. Yusef Record checked.
Thank you.
Thank you.